In this video, we're going to discuss what's the biggest tool that you include as part of your evacuation kits. Let's get started. Hey everyone, my name's Cliff, also known as the Urban Prepper, and in this video we're going to be covering the largest tool that you feel is warranted for your evacuation kits like your bug out bags and get home bags. In the 10 C's of Survival by Dave Canterbury, he mentions having cutting tools in there. That's one of the C's. So a knife and something like a folding saw. And these are oftentimes the largest tools that you'll see in various evacuation kits. These particular tools are especially warranted in a rural environment where you're out in the woods, for example, you need to chop down trees and make firewood. Now I include both of these cutting tools in all of my evacuation kits now because they're part of the 10 C's of Survival. And I'm not going to question Dave Canterbury, but in an urban environment, you may need an even larger tool to give you additional capabilities in that urban environment. So for this video, we're going to discuss a few different options of tools that are even larger and heavier than these ones, but might be warranted in an urban environment. Now, before anyone says it, yes, I know that knowledge and skills are the most important tools to have. For this video, we're going to be featuring physical tools that you can carry. One tool that's common in evacuation kits is a folding shovel, like this military style shovel. This gives you a lot of options, especially in a rural environment. You might also be able to use it in an urban environment. You could use it not only for digging shelter, if you have to bury some deuces, for example, for sanitation purposes. You could also use it for putting out a fire, in addition to multiple other things. This is just an awesome tool to have. A lot of people sharpen it as well and could use it as a chopping tool. But a folding shovel is definitely an option for your evacuation kits for a large tool. Another option that I think is warranted for an urban environment is having some kind of pry tool like a crowbar. There's a lot of different things you could do with this in an urban environment that you probably wouldn't use in a rural environment. You could use it for breaking windows, for example, if you need to rescue someone from a vehicle. You could use it for prying doors, and you could even use it for self-defense purposes if a bunch of zombies come after you. But hopefully that never happens. But a crowbar is definitely a large tool that you could consider for an evacuation kit. Here's a fairly unique tool. This one's called the CRAT, or the Seattle Rapid Access Tool. This was invented by a firefighter in Seattle, and it has a lot of capabilities for opening up buildings, for example. So you have what's called the key blade, which helps you get into industrial doors and unlatch it without having to break down the door. You also have the shove knife, which is pretty common for firefighters, and other capabilities with it. You have a gas shutoff valve, you have an O2 shutoff valve, you have various hex size wrenches over here, you have a glass punch in the corner, and you can even have a seatbelt cutter over here in addition to cutting other things. So the CRAT's a pretty unique tool that you can include in an emergency kit in an urban environment. The trucker's friend is a really cool option for a demolition style tool. I did a review of this a few years back, which was a lot of fun to do. Basically, you have an axe over here, you have prying capabilities, you even have kind of like a hammer at the end of it. You have a lot of different options with this particular one. It's built in the USA, and it's definitely built to last. This is a pretty fun one, and it's actually not as heavy as what you might think it would be. So the trucker's tool is a demolition style tool that you might want to include in your urban evacuation kits. Another tool that's unique and that could be included in your backpack, although probably not for emergency purposes, is this rake, which is a collapsible rake that you can expand out and then use it for clearing debris in your shelter area. This one is something that I bring with us when we go camping and I want to clear off all the branches and leaves that are in the shelter area. I just bring this collapsible rake with you, and it folds up, so if you were backpacking, for example, you can include a large tool like this. Probably not the best for an emergency evacuation situation, but it is a tool that some people include with their backpacks. Now, if you want to go full-on zombie hunter mode, maybe the largest tool in your evacuation kit is a baseball bat, like Casey Jones, the Jose Canseco Casey Jones baseball bat. But hopefully you didn't pay money for that. So leave your comments below in the comment section regarding this video. Let's say that you include the mandatory 10 C's of Survival cutting tools, the fixed blade knife, and the folding saw. Let's say you already have these in your bug out bag. What's the next largest tool that you feel is warranted in both its size and weight due to its capabilities? Would you want to have some kind of prying tool like the trucker's friend, or would you want to have a shovel or something else? Leave your comments below in the comment section and stay tuned for more urban emergency preparedness videos. See you next time.